Hello, Revere, and welcome to What's Cooking, Revere. My name is Danette, and I am here today to show you a couple of tricks I have up my sleeve regarding my tasty treats. Now, if you're familiar with my work, you can always check me out on Instagram, and my handle is @nummies.bynetters. And you can always find easy tricks where I show you how to look fancy in all of your upcoming events, whether it be birthdays, barbecues, anything, you name it. So today I'll be showing you guys how to make very easy cake pops. And also I have these pretzel rods here, and I plan on wrapping them in our Werther's soft caramel chews and then dipping them in chocolate. And in case you can't see, I'm currently 35 weeks pregnant, and I've been craving a lot of sweet and salty treats. So let's get started. All right, so first, let's see. I'm going to grab my paper straws, and I'm going to grab my chocolate that I've already been having melting for the last, I'm gonna say like 15, 20 minutes. And today, let's see, I'll be using this pretty orange color because it just reminds me of summer. And it's so nice and beautiful outside. All right. So here I have my cake pops. I hope you guys can see these. So these aren't your traditional cake pops. Normally traditional cake pops, they're made of a cake dough. So you would have to normally bake a cake, crumble it up, and then mix it with buttercream or frosting. Then make a dough, make the balls. We're not doing that here today. Even though I enjoy baking, some things I'm just not very good at. And when I've tried to do cake pops, that way I just fail miserably. So I learned how to bake them individually using a baby cakes waffle maker. And normally you can find those on Amazon. And as you can see here, they're just little pops. They look like donut holes almost. And honestly, if you don't feel like baking these, you can always buy donut holes. You can even get munchkins at Dunks. Anything that's round will work. But these are homemade, and you can use any cake recipe to bake them. So this is my special vanilla cake with sprinkles, which is my funfetti cake. And we're going to start putting these paper straws on them so they can start setting, and then we can go ahead and dip them. So let's begin. All right, so I just dab the paper straw a little bit with my chocolate. The consistency, it's good. And I just put it in like that. And I just tap it a little bit so the chocolate can spread a little. See? Look at how easy that looks. And I put it right here so it can dry. Once the chocolate sets on the paper straw and the cake pop, it's just much easier to dip, and it won't fall apart. So let's continue. I'm gonna do a few of these bad boys. Maybe 8. I have been craving cake a lot. You'd think I'd be tired of this, but it's one of my favorite things to do. I had to learn how to bake these individual cake pops because a lot of people were asking me, Danette, I need you to do cake pops. I need them for my events. And just doing the cake pop dough was just a huge hassle for me personally. I know some people, they're great at it. But this is a little life hack. If you want to look like you have a fancy, dessert table at your event, you want to impress the kids, or you just want to do something nice for someone, you can always go this route. Cake pops look complicated, but they're really not. At least not this way. All right, so I got 2 more to go. And once these are done and dipped, I plan on wrapping them individually, just so you guys at home can see how cute they look and how you can pass these out as party favors. People usually go crazy over these. Not just the kids, grown-ups too. All right, so let me put this aside. So I went ahead and I put paper straws on 8 cake balls. So I'm going to leave this here for a few minutes just so it can set. And now I'm going to move on to my pretzel rods. And these are the caramel soft chews that I'll be using to wrap them around. And you'll see these are gonna look so cute, so delicious. Everyone's gonna wanna have one. I know I only have 6, but you guys at home might need to do way more than these, which is fine. So let me put my chocolate back. Now the trick with the Werther's caramel soft chews is we have to melt them a little bit so we can wrap them around the pretzel rod. So I have 6 here. I'm going to unwrap them and I'm going to place them on my plate here. And they're already soft, but we want them softer. We want to have full control of the caramel when we wrap these babies up, because we want them to look even. Oh, a little hard to open, that's okay. And once all of them are unwrapped, I'm just going to pop it in the microwave for about 20 seconds. So I just melted my caramel soft chews, and they look like these little tiny balls right here. They're really soft. I completely wash my hands. I know some people at home like to use gloves. If that's what you prefer, please go right ahead and do it. I feel like I have more control of the caramel when I use my bare hands. So it's easier for me to mold it and wrap it around the pretzel rod. So like I said earlier, it's kind of like, it's like Play-Doh. This is like a fun game. My kids go crazy when I do this. They're always like, Mommy, I want to help. And of course, if I'm doing them for us, then they can help. Because just doing treats at home, everything just looks like Mommy is playing all day. But Mommy is in fact working. So I roll it like this. Looks like a little garden snake. Maybe like 4 or 5 inches. And then I start at the top of the pretzel rod. And then I'm just going to twirl it around. And if I don't roll it long enough, the good thing about caramel is that it stretches. And I just stretch it. Look at how cute that looks. Doesn't that look tasty? Doesn't that look like something you want to eat right now? I know I do. Like I said, I've been craving sweet and salty stuff. So let's do the next one. Again, it's like playing with Play-Doh. And I got this idea of covering my pretzels with caramel because I was eating like a store-bought brand of pretzels that were like covered in caramel, but not like this. This is fancier. And then I saw someone doing it. And I'm like, I can do this. I can do it better. And guess what? I did it. I did it. And now these are a popular item in my store. And they're so easy to make. I couldn't keep this recipe to myself. I want to share it with you guys. Then I just set it there for a little bit. And then go on to the next one. Now today I'm going to dip it in that orange chocolate I showed you guys, which is actually vanilla flavored. But this pairs great with milk chocolate. I mean, milk chocolate, caramel, pretzels. I think you know that's just amazing. It's like a fancy Twix or something like that. Definitely dipping it in milk chocolate is my favorite. So you can dip it in whatever kind of chocolate you like. I know some people love dark chocolate, but if you're gonna do this right, I would always suggest milk chocolate. I'm just going to wait till they harden a little bit, just so it's easier to dip, so the caramel doesn't fall apart while it's inside the chocolate, because technically the chocolate is warm. And we don't want it to fall apart. During the dipping process, it just gets messy and you have to start over. So I'm just checking on my cake pops now. And if you guys can see here, the chocolate is already set. It has hardened. So now we're going to dip it. I'm going to grab my chocolate, which is nice and warm. And let's see, I have 3 different kinds of sprinkles. So I just want to sprinkle all of them with different sprinkles, just so they can look a little different. But they'll taste the same, obviously. So let's do this part. The cake pops. Okay. So since it's already set, it's just very easy to dip. Normally I just dip it. I don't put sprinkles on right away because the sprinkles can slide off when it's freshly dipped. I normally give it like about a minute after dipping, and the sprinkles, they look prettier and they just won't slide off. And this tapping motion that I'm doing is just to get rid of the excess chocolate. So there it is, it's dipped. I'm going to set it right here on my cake pop holder, and I'm going to dip the next one. And once I dip the first 4, I'll go ahead and start putting sprinkles. So let's see. Which one should I pick first? I'll do my favorite, the sanding sugar one. And see, because it's already, the chocolate's been on the cake pop for about a minute. It's not sliding off. It's sticking well. Look at that. Pretty. Let's see, let's do a different one. Let's do gold. Now with these sprinkles, I try not to cover the whole cake pop. Just try to do the top. See, this looks like it's cute for like a baby shower or something like that. Oh, there's a little chocolate there. Let me just wipe that. That's okay, that happens sometimes. Put it back. Okay. Let's do rainbows on this one. I think this one actually looks better than the sandy sugar. What do you guys think? Yeah, that one looks good. That one does look good. Let's do another sandy sugar. This one looks it looks glittery to me. There you go. And sometimes if you don't want sprinkles, that's fine. You can just let them set as is, or you can even drizzle more chocolate just to make them look fancier. So let's go ahead. Now I'm gonna dip the next 4. Now we just have to give them, I'm going to say about 10, 15 minutes just to be safe. We really want them to set so when we package them, they don't get smudged or the cellophane gets dirty. We want them to look as clean as possible. So let's set these aside and my sprinkles. And this is what I've been waiting for, to dip my pretzel rods. So I'm touching them and the caramel feels a little bit hard. Not too hard because obviously they're soft chews, but they're pretty much ready to go. And that's what we're gonna do right now. So normally, I've seen some people, they put the chocolate in a tall glass or cup to dip it. I don't really like to dip it. I like to basically like pour it. I like to have complete control of the chocolate. Sometimes when you dip, it's too much excess chocolate. And if it's warm, it just ends up falling apart. And like this, if I see anything like any little crevice that hasn't been covered, I go ahead and do that. And I just tap to get rid of the excess chocolate in the bottom. And that's it, my friends. Wasn't that easy? I can't wait for you guys to see the end result. All right, guys, well, there you have it. I just dipped my caramel and pretzel rods, and we'll be right back. I'm just gonna give these a few minutes to set, and then I'll show you how I drizzle them, sprinkle them, and package them. We'll be right back. Hi, guys. So my chocolate has finally set on my caramel covered pretzel rods. So now the next thing we're going to do is we're gonna drizzle them and sprinkle them. So I've poured my chocolate in a little sandwich bag. It looks like a little piping bag. And I'm going to cut a little tiny hole with my scissors so we can drizzle it. Maybe that's too small, maybe a little bigger. And normally what I do is I put a little shortening or Crisco inside the chocolate just to thin it out a little bit so it can come out of the bag nice and smooth and have very clean lines on my pretzel rod. So let's go ahead and do it, and you guys will see what I'm talking about. So normally I first do a test drizzle, and that looks pretty clean to me. So I'm gonna go ahead and start drizzling. And once I do that, I sprinkle on top of the drizzle. Doesn't that look pretty? And do the next one. I think all of these I'm going to sprinkle in gold because I just like how it looks. I think it looks better. So I drizzle and then sprinkle. Because if I keep going, then the drizzle lines will set and then my sprinkles won't stick. But right now they're sticking because the chocolate is still wet. Just drizzling. And this is the same chocolate I used to dip the pretzel rods. And as you guys can see, this is just wicked easy. So I'm gonna set that aside. And I'm going to wait for my drizzle line to set. And while I'm waiting for that, I'm gonna move on to my cake pops. And these are set. And guess what we're gonna do? We're packaging these. So I have my little cellophane bags. I know this is kind of clear, but they're perfect. The cake pop fits in just right. I get these on Amazon. You can get these at any store, like Michael's or Joann Fabrics. I believe Stop and Shop may have them too. But if you're a mom like me that's always busy, you get everything online. So here we go. I just put it, I twist it. And then I get one of these ties. And that's it. Don't they look adorable? People will always want to grab one of these and take it home or eat it in the car, or probably not even wait that long. They'll just eat it right there on the spot. They just look so appetizing. Wouldn't you guys agree? So I'm gonna do these with all of them. And again, you can do these any color. If you go to like the stores I mentioned, like Michael's or Joann Fabrics, they have vanilla chocolate and basically any color. So it can match any theme you may be doing. They're gonna taste exactly the same. The chocolate is all vanilla. See how easy it goes in when the chocolate is set? It doesn't smudge. The cellophane bag looks nice and shiny. It's smudge free. All right, let's keep doing this. So the cake pops are all wrapped up. Now I'm taking a look at my drizzled pretzel rods. They're not quite there yet. So we're gonna take a short break, and when we come back, they should be all set and we can go ahead and package them. It's time to package these babies up. Well, let's see. So I'm using another cellophane bag. This one is special for pretzel rods. See? How does that look? Doesn't that look nice? So that's the first one. I'm gonna package all of them, and we're gonna give them out to our friends and see what they think. I think these look so great. I think the swirl of the caramel around the pretzel rod looks really nice and clean. And not just clean, they're just like really tasty. The cake pops are perfect. They're nice and round. They're not falling apart. You just can't wait to eat one of these at any type of event. And Revere, I want to thank you for tuning in with me today here at What's Cooking Revere. Again, my name is Danette, and I have Nummies by Netters. You can check me out on Instagram if you want for more tasty treats and tips. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. Have a good night.